Good day, beautiful people. I have had so many people ask me about the sizes and everything for the bandana tote bags. The first video I did for the bandana tote bags. So that is what we were going to be doing today. I'm going to walk you step by step on how to make one. So let's get started. Alrighty, so we have 4 bandanas. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. You can get it at Walmart, order it online. I have 2 red and I have 2 blue. This particular bandana tote is going to my daughter, so she is the one that picked this out. So we have blue and red. We are going to keep it easy, and we have some webbing straps. I cut these to be 24 inches, so 24 inches for both of them. So those are going to get set aside for right now. You can use any strap you want. You can use nylon. You can make your own straps. We are just going to do the webbing straps for today. These are measured at 21.5 inches by 21 inches, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. So we need 4 bandanas for the whole entire project. I'm going to possibly, if I can, I'm pretty sure I can get a pocket. So we will be doing a pocket with this also. So I'm going to set some of these aside so I can start cutting. So I have a template already, 21.5 by 13.5 high. So 21 here, 13.5 here. I am going to, you can do this any way you would like. You can cut it here. You can cut it in the middle. You can cut it from up top. Whatever you would like. So I am going to cut it, probably I'm going to leave it all the way at the bottom like this. So just like this, and I'm just going to cut across here. So I am using fusible fleece, but you are more than welcome to quilt this. You can use the foam, you can use batting, whatever you have on hand or whatever is easier for you. So what I'm going to do is I already line these 2 up, and I'm going to cut this 13.5 inches, and then I'm going to save this piece for my pocket. That's what I'm going to use my pocket for the inside. So this is what it should look like for your 2 outer pieces. These are your 2 outer pieces that we are going to, well, I'm going to iron mine. So we're going to set these aside, and we're going to get the red ones. And we are going to cut these also. And this is going to be the interior of our bag. So I'm pretty sure, trying to make sure which way it goes. Yeah, okay. So it is going this way. You just have to be careful with some of these bandanas because sometimes they are crooked and sometimes they don't match up all the way. But so what we're going to do is put this at the bottom, and we are going to cut the bandana. And then we can just set this on the side. You could actually use this extra fabric to put a cute little bow on the handle, which I might do. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set these 2 to the side because we're going to iron that in just a second. So it should look like this. You have 2 pieces outside. You have 2 inner pieces. And you have 2 fusible fleece or batting whatever you have at home that you would like to use. So I'm going to set this over here. And now I am going to cut out my pocket. This right here is my pocket. I always put fusible fleece in my pockets. That's just what I do. You do not have to do that, but that's just what I do. So what I'm going to do is, this pocket is a 7 by 4.5, and I'm just going to place it on top of whatever I don't know, maybe we'll do right here. We'll do in the middle because it looks cute. So I'm just going to cut around here. Okay, so this is my pocket. This will be my pocket. So right now I'm going to go iron all my pieces together. Okay, so I have ironed all of my outer fabric in my pocket. So we have 2 pieces for the pocket, 2 pieces for the interior, 2 pieces for the outside. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the interior, and I'm going to show you how to put the pocket on, and then I'm going to show you how to sew this, and then we'll go to the outside of the bag. Okay, so we have our pocket, and we're going to sew our pocket. So I'm just going to put the fabric that I have with the fleece. I'm going to put the other piece pretty side to pretty side. And then I'm just going to clip, and then we are going to sew all the way around, and we're going to leave a gap right here. All right, so that is our pocket when it is sewn. What we're going to do is I'm just going to trim up a little bit of these edges, which I don't think y'all can see it in the video because I'm under the camera. But we're just going to trim and don't get too close to the thread. You don't want to cut it. Okay, so now we're going to turn the pocket inside out. This is optional. You do not have to do a pocket. You do not have to put fleece in the pocket. You can do a bigger pocket. This is just what I do, or what I am doing for my daughter's bag. And this is the exact bag. I'm pretty 100% sure this is the exact bag as the one I did before. So we're just going to push out the edges without tearing the thread. And then going to tuck this in and close it. So it should, you can give it a little bit of a press if you would like. So what we are going to do is we are going to sew this closed, and I'm going to top stitch the top of the pocket. Okay, we have our pocket sewn. We have our top stitch. So now we're going to sew the pocket on the interior fabric. I did 7 inches from each side, and I did 3.5 down. This is just the way I like to do it. You can do higher, you can drop it lower. So 7 inches from each side, and it might be like 7.25. So it's a little bit between 7. So 7 on each side and 3.5 down, and then you're just going to sew right here and then follow the line that you already stitched to close up that hole, and then go back up, and don't forget to back stitch. All right, so we have the pocket sewn on, so we're going to go ahead and put the interior pieces together, and you are going to want to do this pretty side to pretty side. So it's a little bit difficult to figure out which side is the pretty side for the bandanas, but it's always the darker side. So the darkest one to the darkest one, and we're just going to line it up, and we're going to clip them together. So it should look like this. And then we are going to sew here, back stitch, and you're going to go all the way here. You're going to go to here. You're going to leave an opening for us to turn the bag inside out. Then you're going to continue to sew and sew the rest of the bag there. Okay, so we have sewn the interior fabric together. It should look like this. So we're just going to set this aside for right now. And now we are going to put our handles on our outer fabric. I like to put them 4 inches, depending on the bag. So this is a wider bag, so I'll probably do 5. So we're going to go 5 inches from the side. So she chose white handles, and 5 from, oh look, I put that perfect. Look at there. Okay, so we are going to do that for both of them. And I'm just going to clip them, and then I'll measure them. Just to make sure, yep. Yep. All right, so what we're going to do is we have our handles on, and we're just going to sew each one, and do not forget to backstitch. Alrighty, so we have put the handles on both of them. Now we're going to turn. We're going to turn this. We're going to line up the handles, which should be perfectly lined up together. We're going to clip them just to keep them in place. And then we're just going to line everything else up. I think that clip broke on me. So what you can do is, if you want to just push the handles up just so this part will stay flat a little bit, you can do that. So it's just like doing the interior fabric. Okay, so it should be like this, both sides. And then we're going to sew from here at the top. Make sure you back stitch, go all the way, sew all the way here and all the way back up. Okay, so we have sewed our outer and inner fabrics together, and now we are going to, sorry, let me turn the light. Now we're going to cut our corners. From these stitches, we are going to cut 2 inches. It's going to be a 2 by 2. So we are just going to cut. Watch your fingers, because my fingers like to get in the scissors. And we're just going to take this, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Just set that to the side. And then we're going to get the outer fabric. I'm sorry, the interior fabric, and do the same thing. You do not have to cut the interior fabric corners. You don't have to. But it looks better if you do. So you do not have to. It is optional. No one is seeing the inside of your bag. But if you would like to do it, you are more than welcome to. So we're just going to cut these, put that to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to box all of the corners just like this. Make sure all of it's lined up. So I normally can do one clip and I'll be okay. So that's how we need to do all of them. And then after we're done boxing the corners, we can sew the corners together. I like to, so there we have. So we're going to sew each one of those corners. So I like to actually, for the outer fabric, I just find it to, it's just, I like it. I'll actually double, like I'll sew twice over this area right here. Like I'll sew here and then I'll sew over this twice. Like I'll sew and then backstitch just to make it a little bit more stable. Not stable, but you know what I'm talking about. So it won't break or anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew this and we're going to sew that one. And we are almost done with our bag. Alrighty, so our bag should look just like this, where the box corners. What we are going to do is, this is our interior fabric. We're going to turn it inside out. Make sure everything looks good, which it is looking well. And we are going to place our interior fabric inside of our bag. And we're going to line up each of the corners. We're going to line up the corners first. And then we're going to clip the fabrics together. All right, now you should have all the fabric clipped together, and we are going to top stitch all the way around. Alrighty, we have stitched them, both of the fabrics together, and this is probably the best part. Okay, so our opening, we are going to grab our outer fabric and we are going to push all of it out. And you can fix all of the fabric and the fleece together, push all the sides out. This is a little bit of a wider bag. Put the straps correct. So what we're going to do now, seeing that we have all this, we're going to check everything. It's starting to look cute. We're going to check all, before we close up this hole, we're going to check everything just to make sure everything looks good. And then we're going to close up our interior hole. And then we will top stitch our bag. And I will show you just how to do that in just a second. All right, we have closed our hole. Now we are going to tuck, or not tuck, but push the interior fabric in. And we're going to line up everything. Everything should be pretty much lined up. And we're going to clip everything in place. These colors, she did very well by picking out these colors. You'll have strings, you just need to cut them off, and we'll do that after. Get all the strings off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to sew all the way around, and don't forget to backstitch. And we are done, and that is it. That is how you do a bandana tote bag. We have the pretty blue on the front and the back, and we have the inside in our pocket. It's pretty big, so she should be able to fit a whole bunch of stuff in here. You can put a snap button right here if you want. You don't have to, but there you go. I hope that y'all enjoyed that. I want to see the ones y'all make, so put in the comments below the ones y'all make, and I will chat with y'all later.